Hello, class, and welcome to my last speech of the semester. It was a ride, especially with the pandemic going on, and I'm happy how this class has been able to let me interact with others. Even though I put my speeches up later than everybody else because I was always ashamed of putting myself out there for people to judge me. But I kind of regret that decision now because everybody seemed so nice. I used to love doing speeches and presentations when I was younger, especially in ninth grade. I remember this one time in Spanish class where we had to present with visuals, and I went all out. The whole class laughed, and it was the best feeling in the world. There was another occasion in a higher level Spanish class where my teacher had asked me to say salad, and I said the word salad again, making the whole class laugh when in reality I was supposed to say salad in Spanish, which is ensalada. I knew, but I was just playing around. In senior year, I would dread going to class because I had a major case of senioritis, and I did not try as hard as I did in previous years. And basically, burnout took over, and it was a really tough year for me. And it also bled into my first year of college. Although English class for both junior and senior year, I was in IB, which made the class 10 times harder. And every other class that I took 10 times harder since I was in the diploma program. But those English classes I always loved going to. I used to skip all my other classes in senior year and just go to my English or art classes. Please don't judge. It was a really bad year. But for those classes, it was mostly presenting and essays. And I always loved creating PowerPoints just for that class. And I would go all out, and my PowerPoints would kind of be the highlight of my day. These are some of the PowerPoint slides that I am really proud of. Even though they're kind of basic, but I was really proud of them at the time. I would write out scripts for every single slide, whereas my partners, they would just figure out what to say on the spot from what was on the slide. Although I loved presenting, I developed a severe social anxiety over the years. And before, I used to talk to everybody and anybody that was around me, but as time went on, I would talk to people less and less. I don't know why I developed that. It's just that I had a lot of mental health problems that were fairly ignored or brushed to the side, which are still ignored and brushed to the side, which probably resulted in like it worsening over time and me just not noticing it early on. I also noticed I couldn't properly speak to someone without having at least this one stutter, which is why the amount of takes that I had to do for these speeches went into the double digits. If I wasn't fully prepared with a script for those presentations that I was supposed to say word by word, then I would not be able to properly present. I had a giant presentation, which was considered a final in my sociology class for my first semester in community. And I acknowledged that I did have social anxiety towards the end, which explained why I kept stuttering and wasn't able to give out the best of my ability when it came to presenting. And the teacher ended up sympathizing with me and asking questions, which I confidently answered, which really calmed my nerves and made me realize that I can have a good presentation without being perfect. This class really brings back the joys of my high school English classes of when I would present, and I really appreciate the teacher for sticking with everybody. Although I never interacted one on one, really I really could feel the support, which I appreciate. Also, a big shout out to everybody in the class because it was amazing seeing the improvement from each and every one of you. And I was really informed on some of the speeches that you guys gave, especially with Allison's speech on GMOs. I even shared that with a friend as a reference as to why GMOs are not harmful, or that there really hasn't been a study onto why they are. I also appreciate Rochelle. I hope I'm saying that correctly, for speaking out about mental health issues, especially within the Philly community, because it's not talked about as much as it should be. And shout out to everybody again, and especially the teacher. Thank you for teaching us. And I hope everybody has an amazing summer, and or rest of the summer, as I should say. And I wish you guys the best. Thank you.